It was supposed to be just another quiet morning, the kind where the only sounds were the gentle hum of wind through the wheat fields and the distant clucking of chickens. But that day, something felt different. Something was coming. You ever wondered, what happens when danger knocks on the wrong door? Especially when that door belongs to someone with a past no one would ever suspect. Out here, on the edge of Silver Creek, Montana, life moves a little slower. The mornings start early. Way before the sun peeks over the horizon, there's a certain kind of silence that belongs only to places like this. The kind of silence where you can hear the dew slipping off the leaves, where the crunch of gravel beneath a pair of boots echoes like thunder across empty fields. And on this particular piece of land, a modest 12-acre farm tucked between two rolling hills, lives Emily Harper, a single mother, 38 years old, slim, strong, with sun-kissed skin and hands rough from years of hard work. From a distance, she looks like any other hard-working woman trying to make ends meet. Raising her 9-year-old son, Mason, neighbors know her as Em. Quiet, private, keeps to herself. People say her husband left years ago, though no one really knows the full story. But what no one knows is that long before Emily ever learned how to milk a goat or repair a broken fence, she learned something else, something most people could never imagine. She was once a Green Beret sniper, one of the best, but that's a chapter of her life she's carefully locked away. Until today, that morning began like any other. Emily was out feeding the chickens, her hands moving with the kind of rhythm that comes from years of habit. Mason was inside, finishing his homework before the school bus arrived. The sun was barely creeping over the hills when a low, unfamiliar rumble pulled Emily's gaze toward the old dirt road that led up to the farm. A black pickup truck, then a second, then a third, all with dark-tinted windows, no license plates. Emily's eyes narrowed. She set the feed bucket down, wiped her hands on her jeans, and walked calmly back toward the porch, not hurried, not scared, but watching, always watching. But the trucks rolled to a stop in a cloud of dust. 4 men stepped out, leather vests, tattoos crawling up their necks. The kind of swagger that only comes from thinking you own whatever ground you stand on. Emily knew the type. These weren't just random strangers. This was deliberate. The lead guy, mid-40s, stocky, beard, thick and unkempt, spit into the dirt before speaking. "You, the owner?" he asked, his tone more command than question. Emily nodded, keeping her voice even. "Can I help you?" "Yeah, you sure can. Heard this land's about to be up for grabs. Word is, you're behind on taxes. Thought we'd do ya a favor. Take it off your hands. Cheap." Behind him, one of the others kicked at a fence post, snapping it clean in half. Emily felt it, the old instinct rising. Her hands twitched, not with fear, but muscle memory, calculation. Her breathing slowed, heart rate steady, just like they taught her. She looked past them, toward the house, her son's small face peeking from behind the curtain. Mason watching. "I think you've got the wrong place," Emily said, quietly. The lead outlaw stepped forward. "Close now. Too close. Lady, you don't get it. We're not asking." Another man walked over to the barn door, slamming it open. Chickens scattered. Emily's gaze flicked. Barn, house, truck, fence line, exit routes, wind direction, sun angle. Everything registered in seconds. But she stayed still, calm. "You've got about 3 seconds to get back in those trucks," Emily said, voice low, measured, "before things turn real bad for you." They laughed. All of them, loud, ugly lady. "You think you're scary?" The bearded one grinned, stepping closer. "What are you gonna do? Call the sheriff? He's 20 minutes out." "You ain't got time." "You're right," Emily said softly. "I don't." Her hand moved slow, graceful, reaching behind the porch railing. Click. The sound was subtle, but unmistakable. When she stepped fully forward, she was holding something they never expected. A long, lean, matte black Remington 700 bolt action, custom fitted from years ago. A weapon of precision and memory. The men froze. "Whoa, easy." One of them, STAMMERED. Emily didn't raise it, not yet. She didn't need to. Her stance alone told them everything. I'm gonna say this once. Emily's voice was velvet, but steel underneath. Step off my property. Now. The lead man barked a fake laugh. Lady, you won't pull that trigger. Emily tilted her head, a small, almost curious motion, and whispered, you really want to bet your life on that? The silence stretched. And then a single shot cracked. Not from her. It was a warning round into the dirt. So precise, it kicked a pebble onto the man's boot. Deliberate. Clean. The leader stumbled back, hands raised. All right. Easy, easy. One of the younger men started toward his truck. Hand dipping toward his jacket. Emily's rifle shifted, not rushed, but instant. The barrel trained directly between his eyes. Don't, she said. Flatly. Every fiber of her being was now the sniper she used to be. No hesitation, no fear. The men exchanged glances. Posturing melted into panic. We didn't know, one sputtered. We didn't know you didn't care, Emily corrected. Now, you do. Slowly, they backed toward the trucks. Engines roared to life. Tires spun, kicking up gravel. Within seconds, they were gone. But Emily stood still. Rifle steady, eyes sharp, watching, until every speck of dust had settled. Only when the last engine was out of earshot, did Emily lower the rifle. She turned toward the house. Mason was still pressed against the window, eyes wide. Emily walked inside. Her hands trembled. Just a little. Not from fear, but the surge of everything she'd spent years burying. She knelt in front of her son, cupping his face. It's okay, buddy. You're safe. Mum, How did you? Mason's voice was a whisper. She smiled softly, brushing a lock of hair from his forehead. There's a lot you don't know about your mum, kiddo. The sheriff arrived half an hour later. He took statements, made some calls. Turns out, the men were part of an outlaw group, running intimidation, rackets on farms around the area, but they wouldn't be bothering Emily, or anyone else, anytime soon. Word got around. Fast the story spread, about the quiet single mother out on Silver Creek, the one who stood her ground, with a sniper's stare and a steady hand. Most people just shook their heads, whispered among themselves. Guess you never really know who someone is, until you see what they're willing to stand up for. And as for Emily, she went back to feeding her chickens, fixing her fences, tucking her son in at night. But every now and then, when the wind shifts just right, the neighbors say they can still hear the faint echo of a rifle bolt sliding home, a quiet reminder, that sometimes, the strongest people are the ones you'd never expect.